Charles, you're live on America Armed and Free with Richard Marcinko and Charles Heller. Your question for Mr. Marcinko.
Yeah, thank you. Richard, my nephew's in Iraq, and I was listening to a show the other day on public broadcasting that really surprised me about the incredible number of private contracting firms. I realize that you're private these days that are in Iraq. The Army Corps of Engineers is protected by private contracted mercenaries over there by the United States, by Halliburton, as a matter of fact. And so you have a situation where you have American military guys who are making hardly anything, standing there being guarded by guys that are getting paid $1,000 a day, and if they decide that it gets too hot for them or it gets too close, they can just pack up their tent and go home. And what I want to know is, since ultimately we're paying all these people, how come we can't be paying our American military guys over there a hell of a lot more money than we're paying them if we can afford to be paying all these private contracted guys $1,000?
Hoo-yah.
Hey, I'll drink to that. Yeah, well,
little Bombay gin for you, huh?
Yeah.
And a Berghoff beer for
well,
me.
you know, actually, the active duty guys are you know, it's all relative. One, they are making a lot more money than when I was in and when I first started, and as you bring up, they certainly deserve it. What I feel is more ludicrous about that whole situation is that I'll narrow it down to those things that I know probably best, and that's called SEALs. Is that one that the enlisted men get jump pay, demo pay, diving pay, and they get combat pay, and they get proficiency pay. I mean, they make a good buck. But what is bad is you get all that training. They go through 6 months of that training. You continue to train. You take them over to war, and then you have conventional commanders that want them to pick up fought on the runway. Or to have a haircut and have a nice uniform.
If I may translate for a minute, FOD is foreign object damage. Go ahead.
Yeah, so not to embarrass anybody. And as you bring up, those contractors are running around in picking up trucks, and they're guys like me that are retired that are making that good money you're talking about. But it really alienates that what we're doing is those are the guys that are out there kicking ass and having fun, and the people that ought to be able to go out there and do their job are being held back because of protocol and being politically correct and all those other things that get me just drinking more than I need to drink.
This call is from a federal prison.
Where's my sponsor there?
Charles, a quick follow-up?
Yeah, well, like I say, I was listening, and the guys get attacked, and they're contracted guards that are with them. Okay, they just after they get attacked, they just pack up and drive off and leave them because they decided that was too close. The one guy said he'd been there 10 months. He'd made $100,000. He figured he pressed his luck far enough. He wasn't pressing it any farther, and they just go off and leave them right then and there, out and they're unprotected.
Well,
Charles, take your answer on
the
the
had the gun and lowered it on those contractors that are reneging on a contract. I think that's gonna change for probably what's not much better is in the transition of, besides all of our contractors there that are targets of opportunity, we're building our embassy that's going to be 3,000 strong. That's going to be targets of opportunity, and it'll be the Iraqi government that doles out the dollars. And as we have seen in some of the oil transgressions so far, there's a lot of kickback on that.
Good a time as any to take the last break.
AM 690 KVOI.
I'm Oliver North, and like you, I'm listening on America Armed and Free with Charles Heller. Civilian disarmament is an essential precedent for every dictator who engages in mass murder.
In 1813, Jack started to work on a plan to reopen the port of New York. The British blockade had everyone down, so Mad Jack decided to turn it around. He borrowed a fisherman's smack, so I'm told, put goats on the deck and armed men in the hold. When a tender of redcoats dared pull him aside, his men came out shooting as proudly he tried. Come a sailor, come a soldier, come a captain, a king. If you dare me to do it, I'll do anything. I'll take up the fight.
And if you dare him to do it, he might just do anything. And